This is history. Made up as we go along. Bienvenidos a todos a History Improv'ed, where a history expert surprises us improvisers with a historical event that we then act out on the spot. I'm Steve Fate, along with Trent Edwards. And Trent, it's nice to be back in the studio where I belong.
Yes, it's nice to have you back in your natural surroundings.
It is. It's not necessarily more attractive surroundings, but it's...
No, you do miss the Minnesota chic.
I do. That paneling just really, it goes with my eyes.
I had a crazy couple of weeks myself. I went on tour with Ghost Balloon Troupe, and we went through Louisiana, into Lafayette, New Orleans after a gig at the Coronation Theater in Houston. The crowds were really good, and the theaters in New Orleans and in Lafayette were great.
But we won't be talking about what happened on the tour bus, right?
No.
Okay.
There's no talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured. Well, very cool. Nice.
I don't even remember having a tour bus. It was so crazy.
Oh, so successful tour. Nice.
Yes.
So if you didn't get the hint from my greeting there, we're going to be going overseas to deal with a vast topic. We had some fun with a new improviser too.
Yes, Sarah Brown Rankin. That was a wonderful get, of course. I've known her for a couple of years. First through the Sketch Super Collider show she produces with Dan Fisher. And since then, I've gotten to enjoy watching her and her troupe, Hodgepodge AF, performing the Herald.
Nice. And our returning history expert is none other than Matt Roberto, I believe he's filing for tenure at this point.
Exactly. He's associate, if not fully professor at this point in History Improv'ed.
Mm-hmm. So he's back and gave us the topic we're going to be talking about that you'll be hearing very shortly.
Sin más preámbulos, oyente, disfruta.
Totally awesome!
We are here with the Sarah Brown Rankin. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me and using my new married name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a newlywed. That's exciting.
Oh,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Trent.
Are you ready to make history?
I am ready to make history. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I've been so ordinary, and here's my moment to make history.
All right, well, let's check the Wayback 3000 for what's in the hopper.
Okay. Our event, defeat of the Spanish Armada, 1588. The major players are King Philip II, Queen Elizabeth I, Lord Charles Howard, and Sir Francis Drake.
Dang it. I was really hoping that was Trafalgar. That's a couple hundred years off, I think. Different Spanish Armada. Okay.
The defeat.
The Spanish Armada.
In Shakespeare times.
Shakespearean times, yes. Okay.
Okay.
All my references are relative to Shakespeare.
Okay.
Does that mean that we need to rhyme everything then?
We could try.
I could try and fail in about the first 10 seconds.
I think Sarah would be better than us.
I'm a terrible rhymer, actually. Yeah.
But how confident are you, Steve, in this era?
In this era.
Or just how confident are you in leading today?
I can lead.
Okay. You're feeling it. Let's go. And I believe we have Audrey on sound effects.
There she is. We open on a throne room.
The Spanish have insulted me for the last time. I am a legend now, and I will be a legend forever. And I cannot let this insult stand.
Never, my queen. I will not let it stand either. I am your loyal subject. And also a very handsome lord, if we are admitting.
Well, I won't disagree, but let's keep that between us, behind the curtain.
Anything for you, sire.
Yes. Well, my point is that I cannot stand that the Spanish Armada is supposedly the best in the world. I mean, we're Britain, we're the best at everything.
Of course.
This cannot stand.
It will not stand. We will smite them on the ocean. I have a plan. It's coming to me now.
My God, you look handsome right now.
Thank you.
See me behind the curtain.
Oh, yes, sir. Ah, that was wonderful. I really enjoyed your company behind the curtain, sire. Thank you so much for indulging me.
Well, it's the least I can do, because you're going to defeat the Spanish Armada, right?
Yes, I will, I shall. I shall smite them. My plan, if you of course allow it, sire, is to take a mighty fleet of galleons. I hope we have galleons. My plan requires many galleons to go around the north side of Scotland, and we'll pretend that we are going on an exploration, say to Iceland or somewhere like that. But we'll really loop around.
Oh.
Loop around and we'll come from the south, right into the Bay of Biscayne.
This is very sneaky. But I have a side thought from this plan. I think it's very modern of you that you call me sire instead of queen. I have all the power of a man, and I like being addressed as a man. I sort of like it.
Excellent. You are the most powerful queen Britain has had.
Ever will.
Ever will. And also, if I might add, the handsomest.
Okay, go take care of the Armada thing, because I'm going to have a crumpet or something.
We cut to another throne room. Roberto, this queen in England is, she is a threat.
The only woman role should be as a maiden, never a queen. That is for a man to control, to have power.
Exactly.
Like you.
Exactly.
Sire.
Yes, that is why my name is Philip the Second.
Yes, I want you to focus more the one. Philip! Don't worry about the second part. It sounds weak. You're not weak. You are brave and strong.
So the chronology is not so important as the, let me try it. I am Philip. Huh?
Yes, excellent. So nice.
Okay. And I will not stand for this intrusion on our empire by this red-haired woman.
No. We shall be victorious if we just muster our armada and bring it up to those cliffs of Dover. We just show them how many ships we have. That should be enough to scare them.
Oh, yes, I like this plan. Can you assemble them all?
Maybe I can do it in a month. I think a month. I would need a good solid month.
Okay. We cut to a dock.
Please, sir, I'm looking for some work. I don't care if I have to do international war crimes. I'm just here to work.
Excellent. We have plenty of work for a good strong lad.
Oh, thank goodness, and thank you for calling me strong, even though I've got the one leg.
That might be a problem, but we need workers, so...
No, you see my leg. This accent's hard to keep up, sir, sometimes, given with my malady of the tongue. But my peg leg, you see, it doubles as a baton.
Oh.
You see? Yes, I can bash fish on the head with it. I'm a mighty good fisherman, sir.
Excellent. You're a fishmonger type.
I'm whatever you need me to be. As I said, international war crimes.
International war crimes?
If necessary, I will do so. For the flag, sir. Anything for England and for our great Queen Elizabeth.
Lord Charles. Word is that we need someone who doesn't have scruples. Have you heard from anyone that could possibly fill this role? I see this young lad is with the unfortunate. Has any qualifications here?
Your timing is exquisite.
Ah,
His qualifications are excellent. Zero scruples.
Zero scruples, sir. Will do whatever I need to get a few coins to send back to my dear old mom, especially if it's in service of our great Queen Elizabeth.
I've also really enjoyed how sing-songy this young lad is. I've never seen someone with so much evil in them that is also just so adorable.
Thank you for saying that, sir. Before I lost my leg, I was in the acting company with Mr. William Shakespeare, where I played Juliet.
Oh, you're one of those acting types down at the Globe.
Yes, of course. And as a young lad, of course, we played all the female roles.
Of course.
So quite proud to play Juliet. But in a terrible theatre accident, I lost my leg.
what's your name, lad?
Oh, my name is Jamie.
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 You come from a good house?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
Good answer. Good answer.
Oh.
I was worried you might have some kind of people trying to sway you to have some scruples.
No, I'm low as they come. Just this little rotten scum willing to do whatever I can.
Lord Charles, will you walk with me a moment? Lord Charles, we may need this, Jamie, to do some, something untoward.
Some skullduggery.
Some skullduggery, exactly. The Queen would like us to, defeat the Spanish Armada. Just something,
Spanish
just...
Armada is so incredibly magnificent, though. That's a tall task.
It should be a weekend job.
A weekend job?
Yes.
This is the Spanish Armada, not the Spanish Fishing Club.
But we are Britain.
Yes. Wait, who will be leading this? If it's me, I might need some extra support because, well, I do have the gout, and it's been weighing upon me. So it's not a matter of cowardice, just a matter of very gouty feet.
Lord Charles, I hear you have the ear of Sir Francis Drake.
Yes, I do. He's a very courageous man, actually. I could put a word in.
Why don't you take the young lad who it seems to be ready to perform certain acts?
If you mean,
Lad.
am I ready to impersonate a woman and do horrible things in the case for Britain, international terrible feats? Well, you're right, I am.
You are, of course, very good at eavesdropping.
Sorry, the dock is quite small, and I got tired of clubbing fishes, and then I was listening to you. I'm sorry.
All right, so you will be coming on a special mission. Sir Francis Drake, essential to the future of Britain as a naval power. He will bring our nation great pride if only you can convince him to attack the Spanish Armada with the few ships we have right now.
Sir, do not worry. I will go to him in the beguiling disguise of the most beautiful maiden he's ever seen, and I will get him to lead this charge. I assure you, I can do it.
Cut to a tavern.
Sir, I couldn't help but notice that your beer is empty.
Actually, it is empty. Yes, I would partake in some more ale if you have any.
Of course I do. Here you are. Oh no, I spilled some. Let me clean that up for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh,
Oh, sir, you're so very handsome and noble. I don't know if I can control myself around you, but I must, because I am but a sweet, innocent maid.
well, innocent maid? Oh, it's unfortunate.
Well, I don't know, but there is something about being on a boat that just makes me feel like a Southern belle.
Oh, that's very inviting.
Yes, and you know, this Something about being on a boat in the water just makes me feel so alive, you know? And you know what else would just make me feel so alive?
What is that?
If you would lead a charge against the Spanish Armada, wouldn't that just be something?
The Spanish Armada, you say?
Yes.
That would take a lot of screwing up of my courage. I would need to...
Oh, you just need to screw your courage to the sticking place.
Yes! You have a way with words,
Oh.
lady. I feel a sudden inspiration to attack those rapscallions, those damnable dogs, those Spanish... With the right lady at my side, or at least in the cabin, I feel like Britain could make short work of that Spanish Armada.
Oh, and yes, we'll do it for Britain, but listen, not Britain, it's you.
Oh.
You're the one that has the power to defeat them. You're the only one that can do it. You're just a great, big, brave, intelligent man. You're the only one who can do it. I just know it.
Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, come to my chambers. I will make a plan, and you can be there to enjoy it.
Well, you can make the plan on the boat, can't you?
Oh, yes, the boat.
I just don't trust myself around you, so
Oh.
we've got to be on the boat. We've got to be in international waters for the things we're going to do.
Yes, let's make haste to the boat. The ship, I should say.
Cut to the boat. Will it just be the two of you for tonight?
Yes, I believe it'll be just the two of us.
Oh, gosh, don't we need a whole battalion of soldiers or something to make this happen?
Yes, of course, my dear. I will procure them. Hey, Sergeant at Arms.
Yes, sir.
Could you go down to the docks and the pubs and gather up all the roughest characters you can find and drop a coin in their mugs, and then they'll be part of the Royal Navy, and you can bring them back right straight away.
We cut to the docks. All right, lad. You see that ship there? What say we go on a little voyage?
Why do I feel like I'm being voluntold to do something, huh? Is this my choice, whether I want to go fight or not?
Yeah, I don't want to fight neither. I don't want to fight at all. I just want to get some good ale.
Would this coin be helpful?
Oh, coin. Well, that coin is rather shiny. Could there be 2 coins?
2 coins for each of yours.
My God, I've never seen that much money together in my life, Fred.
Me neither, Michael.
We've got to get on that boat straight off. If this is what it means to be in the Navy, that I got 2 coins. I mean, not just 1 coin, 2 coins, and I can rub them together.
You can make that rich person sound.
That rich person sound of coins rubbing together?
Yes.
Oh, we finally made it.
Oh, yes. To the boat we shall follow.
For England, for Queen Elizabeth.
And for our wealth, of course.
Cut to a Spanish port.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, Juan, I feel like there is something in the air today. I feel like it is, sailors, what is Red Dawn at the morn, sailors be warned? That's the... I didn't wake up this morning early enough, but I get that feeling that it's one of those days.
You don't need the words to describe it. A sailor, we have the intuition. It is in you. We see, like, this is not something bad is coming. Even though we are such a beautiful, powerful armada, I feel the world will not let it stand. They cannot stand things of beauty.
No, or a great, great historical machismo.
Right.
Did someone say machismo?
Oh.
We did.
Roberto, it is your king. Philip.
Philip! Oh, you don't even look like the second anymore. Your machismo is so grand.
Oh, Philippa!
Yes.
Oh, thank you for gracing us with your mighty visage.
King Philippe, if you would permit me a question. We feel in our gut this intuition, the sailor's intuition, that something is amiss. What is the matter, my lord?
There is nothing the matter. You will strike. spear into the heart of England and
Yes.
that red-haired woman up there on the throne.
We will not fail you.
There's a reason you are our king.
Yes.
Yes. You inherited the throne. And we respect that here.
Quick question, King. Our armada is great. Our country is great. There is great danger, however, in going to war. So, how do I say this right? In it for the common sailors.
Yes.
It was, 3 coins. Sound.
3
Three
coins.
coins. No.
See.
Uno, dos, three coins?
Uno, dos, tres, yeah!
I don't even know what to do with 3 coins. I hear you tell with 2 you rub them together, but with 3 I don't know what you do. You juggle 3 coins? You can do a coin game on the street. I don't know. I can't imagine
do
such
cups.
was.
Put it and maybe make more coins. Do some gambling.
Yes, you can represent the Holy Trinity. You can
Oh yes.
you can flip 3 coins at the same time and experiment with mathematical probabilities that I can't even imagine as someone who's uneducated.
I cannot imagine. All I think of is maybe that pilgrimage. You could pay for all of the inns, all of the way,
Wow.
and have as many drinks of Rio Tinto as you want.
What a dream. That's magnificent. King Philip, we love you.
We are in.
This is the glory that you have waiting on your return. Now go!
To the Armada!
Cut to the bridge of Sir Francis Drake's ship.
Milady, all of our late night planning has come to fruition. We snuck upon our enemy, the Spanish Armada. I've already started using their accent. I will be a great noble in their country by the time we are done this war.
Oh my lord, it is amazing. It is like you're a totally different man, and I'm into it. Even though, I mean, I love you, your original self, but like just seeing that you have so much dimension, so many different sides to you. I mean, it's real appealing.
Why, thank you.
Mhm.
That means a lot.
Oh,
Coming from such a beautiful lady and such a learned woman. It's very surprising. A woman so learned.
oh gosh, well, thank you. You know, I just pick things up for like osmosis. Like I'll just go walk down the street, you know, just carrying a basket of flowers, and people talk around me, and I just absorb everything they say, you know.
That sounds dangerous. You might want to curb that.
Yes, maybe so. But you know, now I'm with you, and you're going to be my protector. So
Yes,
I don't have
I
anything
will.
to worry about. Thank you so much for respecting my womanly boundaries.
I am a gentleman, if nothing else.
Captain Drake,
Yes. What is it?
the Armada is within sight, sir. You may want the young lady to go under decks.
Yes. Time to go below decks where the women belong when the men have to spring forth into action.
Well, Sir Francis Drake, there's something I've been meaning to tell you.
What's that, love?
She rips off her wig,
Oh my god! What the blimey!
rips off her dress to reveal a peg leg.
Oh, that's so horrid!
Governor, well, I got to tell you, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier, and I am here to the end to defend Britain.
That does explain a lot.
This guise that I've had to take on, it was so that we could convince you to take on the Armada. And look at you, sir. You are the picture of a modern major general. And let me tell you something, you might not know this leg right here, it's a hell of a club. So yes, sir, I won't be your lady tonight, but I will be your loyal soldier.
I must say I am rather disappointed. Normally I'd have you flogged for such insolence, but God damn it, I admire your courage and your verve. To war we go. Lash the sails to the mizzens. The forecast is cloudy. The forecastle, however, get up upon that and let's get on them.
Cut to the deck of the lead Armada ship.
Oh my god, look at them, they're vicious. That little boy is holding his leg in his hand.
Oh,
Is there anything they will not do?
it's so repulsive. We should fight them.
We have no choice. For
We have
España.
no choice. For España, for King Philip, and for our futures as big ballers.
Yes.
Cut back to Sir Francis Drake's ship. Sir, the lead Spanish Armada ship is approaching soon. We should be colliding with it at any moment here.
Excellent. But bring out the guns. We'll go right alongside and hammer them. Show them our British grit. Show them our efficiency and our wit. Well, it'll be tougher the last part, but the efficiency and the grit. Let's go with that.
And we could use the peg leg lad.
Of course.
Oi, of course I'm here. I'm here to the end. I'm ready.
I feel you should be the first to board the flagship of the Spanish Armada and club everyone in my way.
But I can also be a very enticing Southern belle, as you know. I can put on that character and entice them in.
And then you work your magic.
Yes, sir.
Captain, we are launching the planks across to the Spanish ship.
Oh my goodness. I just feel like I'm just gonna fall right into this water. It's so scary. Oh, sir, will you help me across?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, what a lovely, strong, large hand for a lady, but so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You know, where I come from, the women in my family, our red hair just flows out of our head like waves, you know?
Oh, my goodness. I am getting very excited for our acquaintance.
Wonderful. Well, listen, thank you for letting me on board. I just thought we could talk about this little military matter a little bit, you know. You're not the captain of this ship.
No.
Well, you know what, though? You should be.
Hmm.
You could be. You could be the captain of this ship with a wonderful woman like me by your side. You should gather the other men around me, and I can tell them all about myself and the lands I come from. And
Juan,
then we can...
Carlos.
Yes.
Come.
And guys, listen, gentlemen. Oh, you're so brave and handsome. Why are you following some captain to just doing whatever he says? That's ridiculous. You guys should commandeer this ship and just skedaddle right out of here.
We got 3 coins. That seemed like a lot.
3 coins is a lot.
Well, I heard that there's a whole lot of buried treasure just over yonder. Let's just take this boat and go over yonder together. Why are we gonna go through all this violence? That's just men business. Don't you want to be around women? I also heard there's a lot of women on that island.
Ooh. Las mujeres. Bonita.
Is it a treasure island?
Yes, it's a treasure island. And the women keep it safe. And okay, all right. I'm just going to spill all my secrets to y'all because y'all are just so handsome. Okay, so this treasure island that's just over there, it's just full of beautiful women. And any kind you like. I mean, tall, short, you know, a little curvier, a little thinner, but lots of redheads like me, I must say. And yes, they guard a treasure, and I do come out onto sea sometimes, and I bring men back because let's be honest, we're just so hopeless without all y'all men. We need y'all on our island.
This is a great plan.
I could make this work.
I mean, all you have to do is overthrow the captain. It just could not be easier.
Who could have all of the gold and all of the women? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you get it. You
Yes.
get it.
To the captain's quarters.
Cut to the captain's quarters. What is this interruption?
We have talked to a beautiful red-headed maiden, and I'm sorry, but you must die.
Cut to the beach on a treasure island.
Ay, ay, ay! You are so pretty with your large hands, but beautiful red hair and so much powder on your face. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm just looking around I don't know where my friends are. Just give me a moment. Let me look a bit.
Okay.
She rips off her wig, rips off her skirt. Ay, ay, ay! Takes off her peg leg. Oh, Governor, you messed with the wrong woman today. For England!
No! The Empire is no more! The end.
Mamacita Diablo!
I said the end.
Is that it?
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is how the Spanish Armada got defeated.
That's it's well known.
Yeah.
I think we're on solid ground with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am feeling more confident about this one than anything else before this.
Wow. That's saying something, I bet.
Thanks so much. That was really good.
That was a blast.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved all your characters. And
Yeah.
like
Cross-dressing. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Sarah. This was a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you back for another go sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was really fun.
And we'll be back with Matt Roberto after this break. Welcome back, Matt Roberto.
Matt Roberto. He's in residency
Yes.
at this point.
All-star returnee.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me back. This is a really fun experience. I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and it's really really relaxing for me to just talk about history and all these events that I'm excited about.
You got a couple of geeks at the pub just listening to every word. Can't wait to hear the next explanation.
Then what happened?
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, I gotta go, guys. No. I'll get you a Guinness if you just explain this last part of the event.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into it. So Steve was more confident than in any other episode that we got everything right in our improv set depicting the defeat of the Spanish Armada by England's Navy in 1588. But what I want to know is where they put the statue honoring England's drag queen hero.
I was thinking when I heard this episode, I was ready for a 12-part series, either by Netflix or Amazon Prime, to go into all these characters that was a lot more exciting to the buildup than I ever dreamed. But yeah, it was. I couldn't tell you where that would be at. I don't know.
Hopefully he looks just like Sarah. That would be just poetic.
At the peg leg and all. So
Yes.
yeah.
So why did Queen Elizabeth I want the English to attack the Spanish Armada?
Really, it was Spain trying to invade England and to usurp her power and the throne, and then reestablish King Philip II as the King of England. He was there, married to her sister, and then that was relinquished when she took the throne after her sister's death. And the Pope is involved too, because they're trying to get the Catholic Church reinstated in England, because they'd had it for a short period of time as Europe is really just on this fertile ground of religion and all the destruction it's causing as people are pulling away, which deals with economics. It deals with the fact that the Catholic Church is losing a lot of power, and the Pope and the bishops and kings too, and princes, especially when Germany and the different princes break away.
Can you set the stage for us? How has Spain amassed so much power at this point?
When I'm teaching it in class, we begin actually with the Portuguese exploration, the fall of Constantinople, because the trade routes are going to go through the Ottoman Turks now, and they have control of the Mediterranean, and so do the Venetians. And so it's really fascinating. So Spain is following what Portugal's doing, and there's a lot of interaction. And you have the rise of Spain, which really is Columbus discovering the Americas for the Spanish Empire, and the conquest of the Americas in the 30 years preceding his entrance into the Caribbean. And Spain just jumps ahead of everybody. And now the trade routes of Africa are obsolete, and Spain is growing in power. And then it's just game on. It's just this acceleration of conquest and that's just the building of the Armada. And they really flex that power, and they begin to expand their empire all over the world. You have all these Spanish explorers exploring, conquistadors, the age of the conquistador. They conquer Mexico, South America, and then in the 1560s, they return to the Philippines after Magellan finds it for Spain, and they conquer that. And they've just made an entire empire that's gone global. And now the empires are traveling over the oceans as opposed to on land. Philip inherits the throne of Spain, and he inherits the Holy Roman Empire, which Austria is just massive with the Habsburg family. So he's part of that. And then everything you see, Mexico, all the way up to where we are right here in California, um, uh, it's all under his control. Philip is actually not too engaged in warfare and like this all conquering king, which is so fascinating. The biggest thing for Philip and a lot of the Spanish is controlling Spain. And you have a very, very orthodox form of Catholicism there at that time, because you've got so much of what they're focused on is the Protestant Reformation, and the fact that they can't stop the spread of the Protestants, and now the Church of England, and then the Presbyterians. So this becomes a big issue for his kind of focus on things.
So I just want to know, how does Prince Philip have control of the Habsburg Empire?
Through the bloodline. He is anointed the kingship by Charles V. And he will, because Charles V is going to retire, and he is the king of Portugal. So when he gets the throne of Spain, now he's got the entire Spanish Empire and the entire Portuguese Empire. Plus, he's the Holy Roman Emperor of Austria. And so it's like he inherits all this. And then at the same time that this is happening, the conquistadors are still conquering. They're still, they out in the Philippines by the 1560s, they've conquered that area. So they're really expanding their empire globally around the world. And no longer is it about warfare in these big, massive armies on land trying to take and create an empire. It's about controlling the seas, because it's about controlling trade and commerce. And they can get a lot of products that the people want across the Atlantic much faster than going by land. And so, yeah, he inherits all of this. And I think they're really much more into the church and its power, and having people in the Catholic Church, and that being the predominant religion. There's not a lot of tolerance at all. And so all of a sudden in Wittenberg, you got this little monk challenging the Catholic Church, Martin Luther, and this takes a real left turn. And one of the little secrets in this whole thing, and it should leak in there, is the invention of the printing press, because that was the iPhone of its day. And it's just the information that travels, and people getting it, and the acceleration of learning with the printing press is so overlooked in this whole thing. And I honestly think there's no Protestant Reformation without this. I mean, all these things happen for a reason. There's just bigger forces out there at that time. And suddenly you have the Protestant Revolution, and then you have a king that wants a divorce in England and a male heir, and things get really interesting at that point. And so you've got all these stories that are developing prior to 1588, and Elizabeth was never meant to be the one on the throne, but she is.
I'm starting to feel like this isn't actual. Is this really history, or are you just explaining the plot of a telenovela?
This is really it. This is it.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just half-sister stuff and all this family intrigues. I'm like, what's happening? Is Matt pranking me?
I think if this was a series, this would be like a Game of Thrones. There's so many stories coming together, or the Marvel series with Endgame. It's all these threads and stories coming together, and it really comes to this tipping point of Spain trying to take the throne from England, and then England ultimately putting up this giant upset on them.
Now, at this point, is this what also kind of kicks off the British Empire, so to speak, too? Because Elizabeth was the Queen of England, not the British Empire, because the British Empire didn't exist yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You also are getting that age of exploration, which is happening for England, and they're also raiding Spanish ships. They've got great pirates there, like Sir Francis Drake, who's got a lot of experience in this, and he really is ticking off the Spanish. He's involved in circumnavigating. He's really good in warfare. Drake obviously is all around. I mean, he is up and down the coasts, definitely very involved. And the thing about the English, too, is they're not just exploring, but they're setting up what are going to be future businesses in areas that are not where Spain's at. The English are trying to settle the eastern part. Spain's really settling the west.
The English, are they the only thorn in the Spanish Empire's side in Europe in that? I know the Turks are on the other side, but is this like, I'm interested to know they stood alone kind of thing. Like the French aren't involved in this event, right? This is just after the fact. Like
No, but the Dutch are, which is really
the
interesting.
Dutch, yes. Sorry, I always forget the Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're definitely involved because the Spanish are trying to maintain control of the Holy Roman Empire in the Netherlands, and so there are Dutch rebels, and actually they foil the Spanish plans in this invasion by attack. There's a Spanish legion waiting for the Armada in Dunkirk, another famous place, and they are surprised by the Dutch, by the rebels, and it's a little ploy that Elizabeth does, and she turns out to be pretty clever, and the people working for her, and you guys did a good example of that with with her and her status. But I know she had a massive crush on Sir Walter Raleigh and not so much her cousin.
Who doesn't? I mean, it's Sir Walter Raleigh. They're still making bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
So was that the battle itself was not in the Bay of Biscayne, I'm assuming, as the prop set.
Yeah.
The
It's
plan was. So where was
this
it?
battle is going to take place it's going to take place right outside of Spain along the coast of France. Eventually it's going to, your big engagement will be, they'll say August 7th and 8th around the English Channel. And then it extends past that. And that's when the Spain is going to go past the English Channel northward, north of Scotland. So yeah, it's going to, if you were to draw a line, you'd have it like south of France, all the way up to the Channel, through the northern area, past Scotland, and you're going to keep going east of Ireland, and then people differ between 19,000 to 25,000 troops. It was going to be a full invasion, and so when they go to invade, they bring these massive ships, and it takes some time. And the one thing that this English have is they have smaller ships that move faster. They can get further away from the opponent. They can sink the ship as opposed to engaging it, and they have longer guns. And they've been investing in their navy and taking time. And it's kind of like there's a lot of intimidation for the English. And this is kind of where the cool part is when Drake comes in there as second in command. He really just knows how to maneuver those boats and get guys to get going and fire and know exactly where to fire their boats and all these clever tactics they use that are so outside of what the Spanish are used to. What the Spanish want to do is they want to get onto the boats, they want to raid them, and they want to board them and take them over. And now warfare changes in this, where you're using cannons to like destroy the ships from longer distances. And that's what the English have. That's so great in their victory.
It sounds a lot like guerrilla warfare on the waves.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They're using quick attacks, get in there, get out before the big guys can crush you, can board you.
yeah. You engage. You cripple those ships that can make landfall, and it just changed naval warfare for a very long time.
How does the English get away with that? You've got like the great power, the Spain. Generally, with that kind of situation, you also have, the top military industrial complex is how we call it today. But they had to have the most advanced weaponry. Rome, best weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, empires, best weapons. But how did England actually have better cannon, better evolved naval battle techniques?
I think one of the things that doesn't get talked a lot about in this big battle, because it's so significant, is that, this was like when the longbow was created in the 100 Years' War. You all of a sudden, the knight who's all armored up for years is obsolete, because now it's just some guy can come in and pull the arrow on the longbow, and there goes this training of 20 years with this knight, and he's gone. So all these big battleships with these weapons and trained soldiers, The English are thinking ahead here and saying, what if we just destroy and we're able to sink these ships as opposed to having to engage in battle? And another thing the English do that's very clever is when they go in and engage them, they're almost evenly matched as far as the amount of ships. Is just Spain is bigger, they have more firepower, but they also use these things called fire ships, and they send these ships on fire, and it catches the Spanish off guard. And they also have lost some commanders that were really good in the Battle of Lepanto. They lose those guys, and they have some young guys that come in that are not as experienced, and the momentum really goes England's way, and they cannot gather their communication together. And instead of trying to regroup, they end up going around and sailing northward around Scotland, trying to gather themselves. And that's when a storm hits them and just decimates the Armada.
What role did Lord Admiral Charles Howard actually play in England's victory over the Armada? We called him Lord Charles, and I played him as a coward, but something tells me I'm way off on that.
No, you're not too way off. He was not
excellent.
He was not very confident. And what makes this story so awesome is that it's kind of a baptism of fire for him. And when he goes in there, he starts taking charge and he's making decisions. But it really is Howard as his baptism by fire. It turns out to be he's pretty darn good.
This is a big leap forward for naval warfare, it sounds like.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and what's so fascinating about this one too, it's the beginning of England's legendary have not been conquered since William the Conqueror. And I believe in the beginning of your episode, which was so awesome, you brought up Trafalgar, which is my absolute favorite. And for me, that cannot be taught. And by the time I'm done teaching it in history, it's like, look, I know I'm born and raised in the United States, Midway, but to me, Trafalgar is like the creme de la creme. This really is like, okay, this is the proto Trafalgar. This is the beginning. Like, this is what naval warfare is going to be. It's going to be who can operate, who can sink the ships. And just the Britain at this point just accelerates to legendary status that they're going to have, and how warfare is going to be conducted on the open seas. And then what's really fascinating is France is going to get involved in this, and they're going to have their own incredible stories too.
That sounds like a whole new chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm worried because I think that'll be fascinating, but
We're closing the bar down.
yes. I'm like, oh, this is like the next episode of the novella. You just put a little cliffhanger, and then the French
Right.
came.
Right. Yeah.
So we know in the long term what happened to Spain and its colonial aspirations and its global power aspirations. Was there much domestic fallout when the Armada was crushed? Was it just like, or was it, hey, this leadership we got here, this king, all the money in the world, and you still can't beat this little upstart?
Spain will actually try to invade again in 1596, and Howard will be much more experienced, and they'll defeat Spain. And Spain is never going to regain what they once had. They lose so much in this defeat.
Like, looking back, you're thinking, okay, Spain is still the power. They're just super loaded with money, and they've just got their butts kicked. And you would think, okay, now we see how they did it. We're going to adopt those military tactics. We're going to develop those type cannons. And next time they're not going to do that. So when they come back in 1596, I'm surprised that they're not ready for it's not like the little known boxer that surprises the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I think at the time that they're rebuilding their navy and trying to adapt, there's also a lot of other things going on in Spain, and one of them is the Spanish Inquisition is really at a point where it's destroying the middle class of Spain, and Spain is going to go into a massive, which is so crazy because they had so much money from the conquest of the Americas, but they go into a massive economic depression too, and so a lot of this is going to just start to really compile on the empire.
That's just one side, because they also have in Austria, they've got the Turks coming in. So is it kind of one of those situations where, that's a big loss, but we're such a huge power.
They have a global empire. It's about controlling the seas at this point, because you can get product from the quote unquote new world New Spain to Europe and other places so much faster by using water as opposed to the Silk Road. And the Trans-Saharan trade route is going to go dry. It was a massive trade route through Africa that gave rise to the great golden ages in Africa. And that trade route's going to dry up. And Spain has control of that. And they're trying to keep control. And the different dramatic events that happen in New Granada, in what we call today Colombia, and in Mexico, keeping control of that. And then you're going to get the missions and the Jesuits and the Counter-Reformation. So they really are involved in a lot of other things outside of this. It's kind of like this battle happens, and there is it will be the beginning and end of Spain, but nobody knows that yet. That's us just looking at hindsight and going back 400 years ago. Oh yeah, this was the point. This was the point where Spain will start to descend. But after this battle, they're still very much a world power. They're right there, but they just don't know it yet. That from this point on, they're going to start descending, and Britain's going to start to rise up, and then France is going to come into this thing later too. So yeah, this battle has a lot to it. Just is that center point in history where things change towards the British Empire for the next, 350 years, and Spain starts to decline in that time.
You've alluded to how the next 350 years, England becomes the maritime power in the world, right?
Yeah.
That's all jump started? Would that be the right word by this event?
Yeah, it's going to solidify Elizabeth because the other thing they're going to get is they're going to get the ability to move all the troublemakers and other Protestant citizens, and they can move them to the colonies to develop businesses. And that's the idea. And that's what people like Raleigh and Drake were interested in. We're developing these businesses for wealthy people in England, and they can get immigrants over there who aren't going through the persecutions that are happening in England over the Church of England and the Catholic Church and the Parliament. So it really enables her to move them out of England, the troublemakers, so to speak. But there's a little mythology in that, because a lot of it they do look as investing and creating a colony that produces wealth. As they look at Spain, Spain's taken all the gold and that's gone. But what's there is businesses that are made. And obviously that goes into the brutality of things like slavery and the encomienda system. And the English are going to use the immigrants to go in there who want religious freedom and to get away from persecution. And they're going to go in to develop businesses like the Pilgrims will later, Jamestown. So it really opens that up. And it's no mistake that your first successful settlement is going to be in 1607, followed by the Pilgrims in 1620. And then you're just going to keep getting more and more and more groups going over there. And in return, domestically, that solidifies Elizabeth's hold on England until her death. And at that point, Britain's going to invest a lot in its maritime power and abilities and innovations. And they really make a big push in the War of Spanish Succession 120 years later.
I mean, you touched on 5 continents, and this is truly a global event. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's really interesting. I think for a lot of us, maybe it's our generation. I don't know. And I still see it with younger kids that I teach. Like World War II is the gateway drug to history. I think I brought that up before. But it's like when we really start to look back at these things, I think what makes World War II so accessible is that you have videos, you have movies, you have all these things that gravitate to kids pretty quick. And I mean, there's so much of it, but we don't have a lot of that for these older events. And when you think about it, yeah, it is so epic. It really is. And it's really cool.
Thank you so much, Matt. Another fascinating interview with you. You bring it all around.
Tour de force.
Yes.
Now, I have fun, and I know people will, hopefully, if anything, I hope I get them excited about the same stuff I'm excited about. I love this stuff. And and I just, anything that's historical that has events that I can see and I can appreciate and I just think it's really interesting. And I think there's a lot of exciting stories there, and they are stories, and there's a lot of different interpretations of them, and we're living through a lot of stuff right now that's got its roots all the way back to other parts of history in the world and the United States for us. And so this stuff is always fun.
Well, we add ours to those many interpretations.
Yes, but I enjoy those. I enjoy scenes happening in bars, spies, exploding ships, wigs coming off. I mean, that's fun stuff.
In a dystopian world of the future, or maybe a few bunkers right now. This is the version of this defeat of the Spanish Armada that takes place.
Yeah, I like that. We're all into alternate Earths right now. I think that's it may be getting a little old for Hollywood, but I'm always good for that. So yeah.
Nice.
All righty.
Thanks again.
Oh, you guys are welcome.
And that was History Improv'd, and that was a huge event.
That was one of the biggest we've had so far. And we had Crossing the Rubicon. So it's not like we only do small events. You want long range impact? Call Matt.
Matt's our guy. And much like our discussion about the Rubicon, there was so much more that we talked about that we didn't have in the episode because it's just so far reaching, and it's so easy for us geeks to just kind of keep going that the scope goes well beyond what you heard.
Yeah, I found it really interesting when Matt got into the military tactics and the ships, how much faster they were, the cannon were longer. But there's one other factor he didn't mention that I thought was really important, which was those cannon the English had were also much quicker to reload. So it makes me think like the Spanish must have had so little confidence or so little impressed by cannon. I just can't imagine how is that possible. Like if you don't even have to go on board, you just sink the other ship from a distance. Like that's got to be a win.
Right.
I find that really surprising though, like because they're not dumb.
Well, or it's complacency.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they were so superior in all the battles they fought in the past that they're just like, yeah, we'll win. It's no problem.
Yeah, much like Rocky at the beginning of Rocky 3. Getting all lazy and draping himself in fur coats and stuff. We didn't talk a lot about what we got right, but I did feel validated in that because Philip was a wealthy king that he could, hey, 3 coins versus 2 coins. Obviously, the economics works in Spain's favor.
Exactly. There's 50% more wealth in Spain. That's clear from our improv set. I kept thinking, how much of the Americas would be speaking Spanish now? So in the United States, instead of it being 50% Spanish now, it would be maybe 90% Spanish.
With a little Portuguese thrown in.
Yeah. Don't check those numbers. I have no idea how many Spanish people. I live in Houston, so there's a lot of Spanish speakers in Houston.
Well, and then quite a few where I live too.
In the end, perhaps the Spanish will become the global power just through like population growth instead of conquering.
Yeah, do it the peaceful way by reproducing.
Yeah, reproducing is way more fun than war.
So, dear listener, sangria or a pint of ale, which do you prefer? Let us know at hello@historyimprov.com.
And if you like this episode, please share it with someone you think might enjoy it. And please subscribe, rate, and review the show.
And to find out more about us, check out our website, historyimprov.com. Should I say how it's spelled, Trent?
Historyimprove.com.
That's right.
So check us out. We're on YouTube or wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
And don't forget, take a historical audio tour.
I like to think that each episode of History Improv'd is a historical audio tour.
This is true.
I know we won't be adding any of this stuff.
Yeah.
With a sharp beginning.
Sharp, a what?
And if you like what you heard today, now, ahora todos al mundo disfruta. That might even be right.